So I guess my first question is just if you had any interesting takeaways from this morning's panel.
You know, one thing I found interesting was a comment made by Jim Rogers from Duke Energy that, you know, they're now moving as an industry from an obligation to serve to providing more choices in terms of clean energy. And that changes the whole way of thinking around, you know, what's the reaction to the customers, to regulators, to shareholders. And that, I think, alone creates a new foundation for creating new business models for our utilities of today to deal with the energy needs of the future of tomorrow.
Interesting. All right, that was good. And are there any kind of themes that you've seen so far running through the event from last night's conversations you've had with people this morning that that were
particularly enlightening? Yes. One of the things we were talking about quite a bit since yesterday is around how are the customers going to react to all these changes. And it seems like, you know, we still need to figure that out as an industry. We don't necessarily have a good handle around, you know, how do you put this technology out there and expect the consumers to come to us and to demand the use of it. We as an industry aren't going to necessarily create version 4 of the iPhone. We're not going to have people lining up outside the door to be able to come in and demand the use of these new products and services. So we have a huge task as far as education, as far as creating awareness, as far as actually creating the need and the ability to provide customers a change agent, a control in their own hands. But they today don't understand our industry to begin with. So that's a big chasm that we have to be able to cross at some point over the next 5-10 years or more.
Okay. And for the rest of the day, for the rest of the event tomorrow as well, are there any questions that you're looking forward to having answered, or anything that you're interested in learning more about what these guys have to say?
You know, I found it interesting that some of the CEO discussions that took place this morning put some stakes in the ground out there. A comment made by Jim Rogers from Duke Energy is that if he were to place a bet on renewable energy choices, his bet was on solar. So he doesn't think that wind is going to be cost effective and viable relative to other technologies. And so knowing that we have representatives from the American Wind Energy Association and other renewable energy industry coalitions, it will be interesting to see how the rest of the conference responds to some of those declarations that were made by some of our industry leaders today.